So, the informants in the YSL case have stopped cooperating out of the blue, and a reporter asked Fani Willis about this at the press conference, and she refused to respond.
Delays, people not wanting to testify, and even some people who originally were willing to testify, now filing to be delayed. Do you think this is part of a general tactic to push it as far past the election as possible by certain people?
You're an excellent reporter, but with that, I'm going to end this press conference. Thank y'all for coming.
So, Fani Willis just took an L. She just took an L. Both Fani Willis and Young Thug just took an L. Fani took an L because now she no longer has the witnesses necessary to corroborate the evidence that she is presenting in court. The prosecution can no longer grab a member of YSL and say, hey, jury, judge, we got a YSL member right here that can corroborate the story that we're putting forward to the entire country, the state of Georgia and the city of Atlanta, and you, the jury and judge. Now they no longer got that because these snitches or informants or tattletales, whatever you want to call them, have decided to pull back. Now, obviously, this is a loss for Fani Willis because now she's losing ammunition. She's losing ammunition. These people who were cooperating before no longer wish to cooperate. And a lot of people, including Grand Wizard on Instagram, fucking Grand Wizard thinks this is a W for Young Thug. I'm going to tell you why this is an L for both Fani Willis and Young Thug. It's not a W for either of them. This is an L for both. The reason why this is an extremely bad situation for Young Thug is because although the snitches and the whatever y'all want to call them are no longer on Fani Willis's roster, her team, she can no longer fire them as ammunition against Young Thug. You know how this makes Young Thug look in court? If Fani Willis and the GBI and all of these people are trying to paint Young Thug and YSL and the entire organization as a bunch of threatening thug goon ass niggas, what do you think Young Thug looks like when the witnesses in his case come up as being threatened? When the children of the witnesses are threatened. So much so to the extent that the witnesses say, you know what? We're done. We're done cooperating. We're done. We're so terrified of Young Thug and YSL and all of these other people on the outside who want to kill us. We are done cooperating. Do you understand how that makes Young Thug look in court? That doesn't make Young Thug look good. It doesn't make YSL look good. It actually makes YSL look worse. Y'all gotta understand something. This RICO has wiretap evidence, text message evidence. Young Thug's not coming out for at least 10 years. So there's already evidence that's going to be presented in court that will lock Young Thug away. The amount of years Young Thug is going to get, honestly, could possibly go up thanks to this incident. Because now the jury and the judge are looking at it like, oh, so this YSL shit ain't as innocent as y'all make it seem. Because if it was that innocent, why would y'all be threatening anybody in the first place? Why would there ever be witnesses snitching on y'all? Why would there ever be gang members? Why would there even be anything to tell if y'all weren't up to something? Why would there be anything to hide if y'all weren't up to something? Why do y'all need to threaten witnesses and former YSL members if y'all niggas weren't up to something? This ain't a W for Young Thug. This is one of the biggest L's I've ever seen. And the sad thing about it is, I don't think Young Thug has anything to do with it. I don't think Young Thug is dumb enough to say, all right, y'all, go on ahead and threaten the DA. Go on ahead and threaten the DA, threaten the witnesses, threaten everybody, threaten the snitches. I don't believe that. I genuinely believe that other YSL members or the fans, because, you know, the fans clearly have shown their lack of intelligence all throughout this entire situation. The fans probably went out their way to threaten this nigga and his kids. Threaten the witness, threaten the snitch and his kids. The snitch and his kids. So now we're seeing the ramifications of that playing out. Fani Willis, she took the L on that. She was like, I won't answer that. I won't get into that. Fani Willis did take an L, but she also took a little bit of a W here. Kind of a L. She took you know what? I changed my mind. Both Young Thug and Fani kind of took a W kind of L here. Young Thug gets to breathe a little easy because the snitches are no longer at play. But he also has to keep in mind, now you look even crazier. Now you look even more dangerous. Now you really look like a gang dedicated to killing people because now the witnesses and snitches and informants are being threatened and their children are being threatened. So now you look doubly crazy. Now you look doubly guilty. Now you look super dangerous. Now y'all really look like Young Slime Life. Y'all really look like a gang. Y'all really look like Slack. Y'all really look about that life. Really, truthfully. So this had the opposite effect. Like, y'all got to keep in mind, these informants didn't just come out of the blue. The informants in the YSL case have probably been giving up information for years now. You're just now knowing their name. You're just now even knowing that there was a RICO in the first place. We've only known about this RICO for the last 2 months. The last 2 to 3 months. Young Thug didn't know about this RICO. YFN Lucci didn't know about his RICO. Gunna didn't know about this RICO. They just found out when we found out, when they got locked up. This RICO has been underway for 7 years straight. Y'all think they're just now gathering witnesses and informants? No. This has been under wraps for 7 years for a reason, because the amount of years behind this case for each person that gets convicted is so heavy that if the GBI comes up to you and says, hey, look, we got a RICO coming up for Young Thug. We about to give each of y'all niggas about a good minimum of 15 to 20. If you cooperate with us, if you wear wires, you record phone calls, you screenshot texts, maybe, just maybe, we could get you a light 5 years, maybe even immunity. What do you say to that? Who's not taking that? You telling me I might get a minimum of 15, 10 to 15, 20 if I don't cooperate? Bro, just go on ahead and bring in a McDonald's. Bring in a Quick Trip, bring in a Krispy Kreme, go on ahead and bring all of that shit in. Let me eat for a second and let me clear my mind so I can tell y'all everything I need to know. Y'all gotta understand that these snitch niggas, because y'all are mad at the snitches for some reason. Y'all gotta understand that these informants and snitches, I hate the word snitch because I just really don't like that word. But y'all gotta understand that these informants, these turncoats, these YSL informants, they've been at this for a while. They didn't just start giving Fani Willis information. This wasn't just started. This didn't just become a thing. It's been happening for a while. YSL has been turned out from the inside for years now. I fully believe that they have all the information that they need. Genuinely, the witnesses no longer have to cooperate. They don't. They probably given enough information now to where they're completely immune. Now all Fani Willis and the prosecution has to do is bring the weight of the law down on YSL's heads, lock them up forever, and the witnesses are good to go. Y'all gotta understand that this is how the game is gonna go. This is not really a W for Young Thug because 9 times out of 10, the witnesses have already given up all the information that Fani Willis already needed. So now Young Thug has gotten rid of, well, not Young Thug, but the YSL fans and YSL affiliates have threatened this witness into so much fear that they will no longer cooperate with the DA. However, I have no doubt in my mind that the DA has already gotten everything they could possibly need out of the witnesses. Now all she needs to do is present the evidence in court. And because she already has the evidence given to her by the informants, what do you think Young Thug is going to look like in court? Now you look like a real gang member, a real gang leader, because when you had witnesses testifying against you, a bunch of threats came up out of nowhere, so much so that the witnesses ran away from the case. You really look guilty now. You really look like a thug. You really look like a criminal. You really look like a top head gang member. You really look like a leader of a criminal organization. This is not a good look for Young Thug. This is an L. This is an L, bro. If I'm the prosecutor, I'm like, oh, so you think you can, oh, okay, so you think that if you get rid of the witnesses, nigga, you're taking a W? No. If anything, this is more ammunition for me, because I'm going to come in court saying, hey, look, ain't it crazy how these niggas say that they just have lyrics being used against them, and yet they feel the need to threaten the lives of the witnesses and their families? What could be so damning that y'all need to threaten the lives of the witnesses and the families of the witnesses? What could be so destructive? What could be so damning that y'all need to threaten them for? Explain that. Yeah, exactly. The reason why these niggas is being threatened by YSL affiliates and fans is because YSL has been up to some crazy shit. YSL has real serious beef with YFN. Both them niggas got hit with RICO. It didn't happen by chance. And these witnesses walking away from the case, it's not going to help Young Thug. It's not. Sure, they might not be able to have any witnesses. They'll have other witnesses take the stand, but the ones that have walked away, it's fine. You think they haven't already got all the information that they need? You think they don't have wiretap, screenshots, all kind of shit? Dog, these RICOs aren't made overnight. All this did was hurt Young Thug's image in the eyes of the jury even more, because it's like, oh, so you're going to threaten the witnesses? Or the people around you are threatening the witnesses? Oh, okay. Oh, your fans are threatening the witnesses? Okay. That's all that is done is reaffirmed in the mind of the jury and the judge and really the city of Atlanta that Young Thug is dangerous and that YSL is dangerous. And I can't help but agree. The families of the witnesses are being threatened. The witnesses are being threatened. Dog, y'all look dangerous. Should have thought about that. Y'all YSL fans, stop threatening niggas on the internet. YSL affiliates, stop threatening people on the internet. You're not gaining anything from it. All you're doing is giving Fani Willis more ammunition to say, yep, these are violent gang members that are trying to destroy the city of Atlanta. Look at what they do when we lock them up on RICO. They start threatening the lives of the witnesses. Surely they got something to be worried about if they're threatening the lives of the witnesses. Not a good look for YSL or Young Thug, dog. Not a good look at all. Looks like Fani Willis has hit a little bump in the road, but looks to me like she's going to take the W in the long term. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.